do that for because the bottom one was set up with the parent joints, and this one's rotating the parent joints, basically the parent end of it, so it rotates as we expect. Now we can curl the lips in and out, so you can actually get some lip curl. Still haven't dealt with any weighting. You'll notice that the top and bottom controls are pulling the too much and overlapping things. So one of the last things I'm going to do is go in and tweak all of the weighting so that it comes up better. I've set it up so that now the top lip is pulling on what you'd expect. I changed up the bottom lip a little bit, that it actually pulls on this control and pulls it down a little bit as well now, which meant that I had to go and set this joint up as I did these ones, with that loop back on the position. So the position wire and the third track wired back so we don't get double transforms. And its parent object is now parented back into the actual control that it controls. So that when you pull on the bottom lip, you're actually getting the corners of the mouth being pulled down a bit. And when you're pulling on the top one, it doesn't, but it's pulling up around the nose a bit. I even have it now set up so that when the cheek moves, it's actually moving this one a little bit, and this one moves that one a little bit. So it's actually this kind of cool way of setting it up, that it seems like sort of a dependency loop problem, but it really isn't causing a dependency loop that's going to slow anything down. The rig is very fast still. It deforms the face very quickly and doesn't have a problem at all. So that's quite nice. There's a few changes I've made there and played around with it, just trying to get some subtle things working a bit better. And the next thing I was going to look at doing is getting into the eyebrows. Now what I've done is I've already gone and set up one of the eyebrows, copied a control up, and the control is parented to the base joint of the jaw. It really doesn't matter anywhere. The head bone would have been fine. And I'm just going to show you how I've set this up to work then, which is quite a neat control system. I wanted to actually have one control for the eyebrow, and set it up so that it was nice and simple for the animators. What's great is you can pull it up and down, and you get both ends of this joint essentially being dragged up and down. And what's nice though is if you pull it sideways, I've set it up so it pulls these joints a little bit sideways. This one not so much when you go this way, and then the other way around. When you go the other way around, this side moves more than this side once you go this way. Not even sure that's entirely needed. They may not need to move side to side at all, but I've got it that way right now just to see how it works. And then what I've got is an interesting system that when you pull it up and you start pulling sideways, you can see that the outer edge of the brow starts going down, and actually the point where it starts going into a negative value. And when you bring it back, the inner one starts doing the same thing. It starts going down. So you can actually completely change up the attitude of the eye just by dragging it sideways, and same thing in the down position. Now I'm not using Reaction Manager for this like I did with the morph system. This is all done with wiring, and it's strictly wire dialogues that are handling this. So what's nice is you can get a real change in attitude going, and the amount that you want the other side to drop is based on how far you pull it sideways. So it's quite a flexible system. So we're going to set that up on this other side and get that to work as well now in the next AVI. So there's some of the basic changes so far. Another change I'd just like to point out is in one of the scripts, mirror objects. Something I realized as I was getting into it and starting to mirror over from one side to the other is that once I grouped the red point helpers here with a new point helper, and we needed to rotate it into place and make sure it was rotated the right way, you need to have Don't Affect Children on. The only problem is when you set the rotation of an object through script, it completely ignores this. This has no effect on it at all. So when you set it, it automatically just rotates the child objects. So what I did is I made a quick fix here in our mirror tool. I added a new parameter to it so we can turn it on and off through the switch if we want. Don't Affect Children false. And so what this does is add a parameter to it called Don't Affect Children, and it's defaulted to false. What I could do is I could actually have one here. If I just run that, it'll be false, but if I add the parameter to it, I can set it to true. And what Don't Affect Children does